Welcome guys to another episode of the Drift Games vlog, and we've been on a bit of a roll lately, Josh, revealing the new cars that are coming to the Link ECU Drift. Yeah, it's been a few. Link ECU Drift Games Extreme is looking pretty spectacular. Ridiculous cars, but we might just have found the most ridiculous car. I was questioning whether it was one of the highest horsepower cars in the entire country. We realised there's a Bugatti Veyron in Ireland somewhere, we don't know who owns it, but he is probably the only person that has more horsepower than this car. 920 horsepower in a drift car. That's a real thing now. It is the brand new build of Kieran Casey stepping in to the Link ECU Drift Games Extreme, and we thought this would be a good opportunity when it's up here testing to show you what this car is capable of. Josh, you got some shots of it? Yeah. Roll the tape.
Should I put in
now?
Yeah.
Now Josh, we started a little show called Head to Head, which was us giving specs of cars. We've realised we're absolutely useless at that. So the best person...
think I'm going to be any better at this?
No. So we're going to have one idiot, which is you, and we're going to have the guy that actually knows everything about this car. Kieran, welcome down to Mondello Park.
It's kind of like I'm asking for the idiots and Kieran's explaining for the experts.
Kieran, first of all, this thing looks incredible. I'm going to start with the outside of the car. This is a famous car from drifting in Ireland that has now been completely revamped. This is Tomas Kiley's old S14. Show the people who might not remember that car what it looks like. Now.
Here.
Problem is now, people are going to think you bought Tomas Kiley's car and you put some stickers on it. In fact, that is the exact opposite of what's happened. This is almost like a brand new build, right?
Yeah, Dave, brand new build. Basically, I bought the car off Tomas. We stripped it back to a bare shell, repainted the whole.
So this went back to a bare shell?
Bare shell, engine box out.
Now, first question from Josh is, why? This car seemed like it was pretty good back in the day.
That was like the best car in the car. I remember Michael Sheen, James's spotter, he said this was an FD spec car as it was.
So this was the best car on the grid, and now you've gone and even improved it more.
Yeah, when we got it, we tested it after buying it, and we found issues with the car, so we decided to
go ballistic,
basically. So by the time we had everything sorted, we basically had the car back to a bare shell, so we just decided to paint the whole car.
First of all,
what you've seen
from
the other vlogs,
we're going to assume this is an Origin Labo 75 mil with the full bells and whistles, but that is impressive. What I really like about this one, Kieran, is the wheels. So you've gone for...
Yeah, the 720 Dave, 55 style.
They're really sick. Same as the old James Dean was running last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, there's 17s in the front, 18s in the back.
17s on the front?
So it's actually a staggered sort of height as well. Why 17s on the front?
The reason why we use a 17-inch wheel in the front and narrow as well, it's only 8-inch wide, is for clearance on the arches and the wings and stuff.
Maybe 8-inch wide?
Yeah.
I can see there's obviously big upgraded brakes on this one as well, Kieran.
Yeah, it's just running on 8-pot K Sport brakes all around.
And then 18s on the back.
Yeah. Full Origin 75mm kit.
And then sort of what we like, I know it's, you know, the true JDM guys are going to hate this, but we like seeing stickers on taillights, because what it actually means is you're going to be running walls with this. That's the whole point.
You know what, in the first pictures I couldn't tell that these were stickers. I genuinely thought they were lights until you came down today.
One thing that I thought as well when I saw the pictures, Kieran, was that this was painted, but it's actually a wrap. But it's really sparkly, which kind of it's hard to. I mean, this is a metallic sort of wrap that the guys have kind of come up with.
P09 wrapped the car. Absolutely incredible job. Delighted with it. It actually looks like a paint job.
It's a
but it's actually
full wrap.
metallic. Yeah, it's a full wrap. That's
You see, that's what I was thinking. When you look at it, you think
little bits like that would usually be a sticker.
when you do this, you go, it's a sticker, and then you go, why is there no? And then I was like, did he paint over the sticker? But it's actually a wrap.
It's actually printed wrap. It's actually printed to wrap it.
That's amazing. And I have to start under the bonnet because I think that's what everyone's going to want to know is how does a car make 920 horsepower? And that kind of a turbo looks very like something that would make 920 horsepower. Talk us through, Kieran, what is the running gear on this car?
It's a 2J 3.4 HK stroker engine with a Garrett turbo. It has a G-force dog box, 4-speed, as well as a Winters diff in the rear end.
So sort of everything you would need to sort of manage big power, because you know, standard gearbox isn't going to hold up to that, standard rear end isn't going to hold up to that. So 3.4, this is taking the super engine and a stroker kit essentially. And this is the Funk Motorsport turbo blanket.
Funk Motorsport turbo.
A lot of people saying this is a great upgrade for keeping the temps down on the turbos.
Unbelievable. I even noticed since the last day we tested the car up to today that the temperatures are really down, nearly 5 degrees.
So nearly 5 degrees just from that turbo blanket. Definitely a very good upgrade. You know, you're balling when your inside of your car sort of paint job is as nice as the outside of some people's cars, because that is really
nice.
It's like a shiny metallic on the inside, which looks incredible. Talk us through. You had the car. What power did you expect from the car?
I was happy enough to keep the car at the same power. It was running 850 brake horsepower, and Robbie and TDP mapped it, and when he was mapping it, he actually couldn't run the car. I wanted to have it on a wet setting and a dry setting, and the lowest he'd go is 760 brake on the.
You couldn't go any lower than 760 horsepower.
So
it's an interesting problem. And what did it do peak power? Like what did it do on the dyno sort of at its highest, sort of, if it was sort of showing the potential of what it could do?
Well, Robbie was saying that it had a boost, a 1.4 bar boost, and it was running 950 brake horsepower, which we're running it safe this year. I just want reliability.
So what's the safe figure?
920.
920.
Yeah.
920 horsepower safe.
You know what was the lowest they could map it at?
760.
How many cars on the grid are 760?
Yeah.
You're happy enough with your safe 920 horsepower. That is insane. So let's have a look inside. You had an S14, Kieran, and then you went to a 180SX last year. So this is back sort of where you began.
Yeah, I just found there was a big difference in the chassis shells between the 14 and the 180. I'd rather 14 feel more comfortable inside.
So you actually think there's a big difference in both of those chassis?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, big difference.
That's something that, you know, a lot of people don't think. And in here, well, it's all function.
I actually had a quick look. Is that a custom jack? Did you make that dash?
Yeah, we put his in it. Yeah, it's
Have you seen over there as well?
Yeah, I just want to go. I want to switch around to the other side, because that's the bit that's a little bit more interesting.
Tidiest inside to a car.
But I suppose it's, you know,
everything's sort of nicely covered away.
So what it's like a cabinet in your kitchen.
One of the rules this year for the Drift Games Extreme, you have to have all your oil dry sump kit covered and your power steering pump.
Ah, there she is. So you've got it covered away with this, just to protect you from any leaks in the driver's seat, obviously.
That's it.
It just looks a lot tidier.
It's a very tidy job, and it's a sort of, if from a distance you wouldn't even notice it if you're looking into the car, which I quite like.
Yeah.
Until you step in and you realise you've got as much legroom as, you know, a poor Ryanair flight. Oh, Josh has found something.
Okay, I got told about this before. That switch there, the one on the left.
Which switch?
Like the twister switch.
Yeah.
That's like the one on you know, Spinal Tap. We can turn it to like 11.
Really?
And was it every click is?
Yeah, every turn is nearly 50 brake horsepower on the dive.
This little black switch here.
Yeah.
So you twist it.
It's just
And
a
when you
variable
tested
valve
today,
switch.
what did you have it on? Like the lowest?
It was only running today on 760 brake today.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
And I'm actually,
Barely able to spin
I
wheels, I
don't think
suppose.
I'd be able to change it.
I tried to egg him on to go up to 10, but I'd feel bad if he blew the engine after I told him to do
Yeah.
that. So.
What I'm saying is, I'm not allowing you in the championship this year unless you just put a big 11 beside that, and you can just turn it up to 11 when it needs it. That would be
Everyone
pretty.
else on 10.
And then we can say in the commentary,
That's for the final.
yeah, it's for the final, and he's turning it up to 11, and it's a literal statement. It's not even a figurative
Get
one.
a live stream camera in there.
Yeah, turning it up to 11. I like that. Okay, so we got to go to the back, because this is the bit that we were a little bit sort of amazed by. Now the rear end of the car looks pretty sweet, but can we take the boot lid off and show what's going on behind it? Trust in Josh with removing panels from your car. That's almost as risky as being in the championship itself. This is the largest rear radiator I think I've ever seen in a drift car, And it doesn't look like something that is normal. So where did this come from?
The red that came in the car originally was only 75mm red in the rear.
Okay.
We wanted to change fittings around on the red, and I was getting a fella to do it, and Abbey Red Airs is a man's name, and he decided to make a complete new red. He thought it'd be a better job. So he designed the red. It's a full copper red. It's 5-core stepped.
That is huge.
Yeah, it's nearly 110mm wide.
How did it even fit under the bonnet?
That's like the front of a truck. But it does make a big difference.
Yeah, the car, the last day out in the car was probably running 100 degrees after doing a couple of laps, and today we were comfortably running at 85 degrees all day.
Really?
Yeah,
Running that
so
kind of
a huge
power?
difference between the turbo jacket, the red, and the better fans as well, spell fans in the back.
I suppose reliability is key. You can't
Reliability
win.
is key, yeah.
You can't win anything if you're in the pits broken down.
That's it.
That's the fact. And here's all the sort of the fuel system back here. What's the fuel system we're running?
Yeah, the fuel system is basically a Bosch pumps. There's a twin pump and a backup pump.
What?
And a filter.
A backup pump?
How did you
Yeah,
use the
see,
backup
this
pump?
This is the backup pump here.
Also, if one fails, the other
one
one.
fails, the other one is pumping, you know.
That's a new one now, Josh. A backup pump.
That's very fancy.
And then this is obviously channeling your air down into the rear
Yeah.
rad. Is this sort of, I don't even know, rear windscreen, but not really a rear windscreen. It's sort of a funnel to sort of direct all the air right down.
It's purposeful.
And then it comes through and straight out the bottom of the car. This is the wow car that at the moment right now. This is the one everyone's talking about. But we'd have to wait until April to see this thing actually in action, which now makes me feel a bit, you know, usually I'm like, oh, let's give it a few more weeks to get ready for the season, but I kind of want to see this thing in action now. This is going to be scary fast to drive, I think, this year.
We were running a stroked SR20 last year at 480 brake, and look, it was a very competitive car, but we decided this year it was either go all out and make a big, especially when there's a new Drift Games Extreme, so we thought we had to buy the right car.
Yeah.
To run on the...
Have you realised that you have a car now that has exactly twice the horsepower of the car you had last year?
Yeah, it's actually crazy.
People have been saying to me, well, what's the difference between the Nationals and the Extreme? And I think
This is the difference.
if you want to know which championship this car is in, it is definitely the Extreme, because that is what it's all about, going out there and making some smoke and getting door to door. Kieran, thank you for showing us the car today.
Thank
It was
you.
awesome. Me and Josh are just going to have to count down the days now to actually see this thing in action. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
I just want to see your first twin battle. That's what I want to see in practice.
So tell the people, Josh, Drift Games YouTube, subscribe.
We're doing the promo at the end.
We're doing
the point.
No, you can do the point now.
So we can do the subscribe up here,
Yep.
or watch our new videos over there.
Yep.
And I think there's another one down there.
That's another video.
So there's 2 videos and subscribe.
Yeah. You look like
That's all it needs.
that's all it needs. You look like landing a plane.